Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Piper Report. I'm not going to go really in depth in this video about the Paris climate and Donald Trump backing out. I'm going to read the statement that Obama made regarding Trump's backing out of it. I'm also going to play 3 minutes of Stefan Molyneux' video. I just want to say, though, that the problem with the climate control is that no matter what we do, so little can actually be done to fix it. And the more that poor countries advance to a first country status, the more they industrialize, and the more deforestation happens, the worse climate change will get. So it doesn't really matter what the US does in essence, because China doesn't do it themselves. China are the big monsters with regards to climate change. No matter what the US does, no matter what if the US stayed in the climate Paris Agreement, nothing really would have come of it, which you will see on Stefan Molyneux's channel. But I just want to say that it's kind of ironic in a sense that the more you want to help out the poor in poorer countries, the worse it will be for the climate, in essence, because you will be industrializing that nation, more carbon emissions into the atmosphere. It's kind of ironic when you think about it. Not really a laughing matter, but I just wanted to get my 2 cents on that. So here's what Obama said. The nations that remain in the Paris Agreement will be the nations that reap the benefits in jobs and industries created, Obama said. I believe the U.S. of America should be at the front of the pack. But even in the absence of American leadership, even as this administration joins a small handful of nations that reject the future, I'm confident that our states, cities, and businesses will step up and do even more to lead the way and help protect for future generations the one planet we've got. Describing the accord as the first ever global agreement to set the world on a low carbon course and protect the world we leave to our children, Obama said it was only possible thanks to steady, principled American leadership on the world stage. I'm going to read or go 3 minutes of this. I have it on 2 times speed or 1.5 times speed, but check it out.
Million jobs, and it really is quite astounding. Now, the U.S. component of the Paris Climate Agreement, 6 million jobs, $150 billion a year, minimum. Huge increases, 20 to 30% in the cost of electricity. What is the net result? Well, it postpones global warming by 1/15,000th of a degree by 2100. And let's just say, President Obama's pretty ambitious numbers and rhetoric. Let's say that the U.S. spends the entire century delivering on what President Obama promised. It postpones global warming by the year 2100 by about 8 months. 8 months. 8 years would be tragic. 8 months is beyond ridiculous. So why is everyone pushing for it if it does almost nothing? Again, according to the UN's own calculations, according to the UN's own climate models. Well, one of the things that has a little bit more of an immediate effect, which just conceivably might be why a lot of people are pushing for it in the UN. Well, the US taxpayers are forced to fund most of this $100 billion a year green climate fund, which basically is a transfer to third world countries. See, foreign aid has, it's lost a little bit of its stellar reputation of late, because foreign aid appears to be basically the process of transferring money from poor people in rich countries to rich people in poor countries. And it seems to have the effect pretty much of producing enormous population explosions that then seem to spill over to Western countries. So foreign aid has taken a little bit of a PR hit of late. And so they need another way to justify massive transfers of money to the third world. So there's this $100 billion green climate fund, which US taxpayers will be forced to pay for. And so if you are a UN, third world, or globalist or whatever, and $100 billion is on the table to be transferred to your country, maybe you just might find the future climate of the planet so terrifying that you must act now to save the world. Oh, and by the way, get that $100 billion.
That's the crux of it. I watched most of Trump's speech today regarding it, and based on what he was saying, I don't know the specifics of the deal, but if we are to conclude that what he was saying regarding the deal is correct, which I'm sure it is because his administration looked over it, America was essentially getting screwed by it. The taxpayers were getting screwed by the money. It looked like China was allowed to do whatever they want. The U.S. had these strict stipulations that they could not do this, nor this, nor this. I think it's good to back out then. I'm not going to get into climate change. I'm not going to go over the whole debate here. But if the deal can be renegotiated, I'm all for it then. But from what I heard what Trump said, the U.S. is essentially losing. And like I said, I'm for America first. It's time for America first. And I'm done.